Videos 8 and 9 are going to be looking at pedestrian catchment tools. The one we're going to be using was an awesome tool made by Marcus White with Melbourne School of Design. It's a very cool tool. We're just testing the mobility impairments and accessibility type of things that certain areas might have. It also tests just the walkability, so how long it takes to cover a certain amount of set distance in a specified area. And it uses kind of like a test subject to start at a center point location and then branch out for a couple of 100 meters based on a specific type of gradient. And you're just able to get data and visual data on the slopes that you might encounter in a specific area and where they're going to be super steep and not as steep. Really cool stuff. So yes, Melbourne School of Design and Marcus White created this. So we'll go into pedestrian catch. So let's go ped catch here. Try ped catch for yourself. So when we click on that, we go to pedcatch.com. So you can just type in pedcatch.com if you want to get there faster. Thought I'd give you a bit of a background on where it's come from, this tool. It's very helpful. So pedestrian catch can be used all over the world. We're going to do a specific example in Australia for these tutorials. But you can do other places around the world, as you can see, which is great. Very helpful for this research project. So to zoom, just looking at the pedestrian catch interface, to zoom, we go Control and mouse scrolly button to zoom. You can also use these zoom and zoom out buttons here, like so. So let's just zoom all the way into an area we might want to go to. So to get to a specific area, we go up here to our toolbar here at the top and we can choose a place. So we're going to choose Armadale. It's one of our key areas that my group and I are looking at. So let's choose Armadale. And this will zoom us to Armadale by hitting enter. So we will end up in Armadale. There we go. That's Armadale. Fantastic. All right. Cool. So these blue lines indicate Armadale. This is the extent of Armadale. So we can also use a little person dropping thing to take a look around at Armadale. And currently we're inside the arcade, which is quite cool. Not exactly where we want to be, but yeah, using the drop pin tool, you can actually get quite close to the places in a specific location. So that was quite awesome. But you could drop your pin really anywhere and see what's around you. So in this case, we're in a street view. So it takes you to like a Google Maps street view kind of interface. So quite cool. It's a really good, this is a great tool even just for looking around at an area, which is pretty fantastic. So we'll go back. So to pan in PedCatch, you left mouse click and drag. You can also scroll button and drag as well. So it's quite normal stuff. And if you wanted to quickly place this center point thing at a different position, you can do so by right mouse clicking, and that will place it into a new location. So here in the bottom left corner as well, it'll tell you the steps you've done recently. So it tracks that for you, which is awesome. You also have options here in the top right corner to choose the kind of style you want, whether you want map, satellite, open street map, what have you. Choose map, choose terrain, satellite with terrain, open street map, yep. So quite a few little options you can look at, pretty cool stuff. If you want to really see the specific paths and whatnot, map is a good way to look at it. It's a lot more simplified, easier to see things. And then up here in this toolbar, we have all our options. So as we did before, we search for our place, which is great. You can set the limits for speed. So this little yellow dot here is essentially a human in this case, and the speed at which you want this little yellow dot human to travel around the streets within the specified area, which determines how quickly they'll get to places. Looking at the average human walking speed is a pretty good way to start. The time, how long you want pedestrians to be walking for in a simulation. So if you're wanting them to walk 4 kilometers an hour for 10 minutes, then it will show you how far they get in 10 minutes at that speed. Another thing that you can change here is the gradient. So what this essentially does is you set the gradient, the maximum gradient that you want pedestrians to travel. Now, if there's a specific slope in this area that's steeper than 1 in 14, for example, it will indicate that to you. So you will know that that's an area that has a steeper slope. So you will know to kind of either do something about that in future or avoid that. And then you can also test a scenario. Obviously here, you can test these scenarios by clicking start. And then you can download the output of that data, visual output, as a KML or a GeoJSON file, which is quite cool. And you can choose the type of stuff, the isochron type that you want to download as well, or the isochron type that you want to visualize. So if you do an offset buffer, it will kind of offset it to create pedestrian paths instead of lines, which is quite cool. So we'll look through all these things later on and play around with those tools. That's the main interface. That's the main stuff to use. That's how this all works. You can minimize the toolbar so you get more of a map view. You can maximize it again. You can learn more if you would like. And that's the interface for PedCatch. So just to get you guys started, it's very simple, very intuitive. You can kind of get the gist of this by trial and error as well. The next video, we're going to test a scenario, and we're also going to download that as a GeoJSON file and look at how we can import that into something like Mapbox to visualize things in a different way, and look at this isochron type offset buffer and how that can help us reinterpret the data differently. Cool. So I'll see you guys in the next video where we'll go about testing the PedCatch. See you there.